St. Patty's Day colors. This is like one of the original tables in my clinic in Spicer.
I feel like the color says that.
Yeah. Yep. Mustard.
Yeah.
It all used to be a
I was gonna say, yeah, and it used
kind
to
of that.
be a darker orange.
Yep.
A little burnt orangey.
Yep. We're out.
Solid.
Yeah, it's yeah. They were meant to be. Do you have the list? Who are we missing? There's tea up there too.
I just like warm water.
Yeah.
It's not warm water. No, but they.
Oh.
So there was a coffee thing, so I threw that away, and then.
But it still has a little.
Some in the.
Yep.
So that's just water. It just looks wrong because the residual.
Little bit of.
Something in the line. There's a lot. It looks like pea water.
They're sisters. Yeah.
Do you want a non-residual?
We've got.
I'm not fussy. I drink it. I don't taste it. It tastes like water to me, but maybe just a little.
No judging here.
Do you want all of this information, right? Chris, did you want
Here's
us to
somebody
fill
else.
everything out?
If you don't have to, you already have
Yeah,
the
we've-
information, but the more you can, yes, but don't feel obligated. I do have it all.
Hey, Linda. That is coming prepared. I love it. You see me recording, so you guys will have access to the recording. You usually are really good about taking notes, which is fantastic. So take those notes. Today we're going to be doing 6 or 8 stretches, 6 or 8 exercises. So you can take notes. You can always ask Chris or Ellen for the PowerPoint slides. If you want any of the deck, you are welcome to it, or even just the recording. But I'm going to demonstrate them today because sometimes that links those things better into your head. Yeah. Are you saying hi? Yeah, she has puppies. There's a few more critical people that we are really hoping will attend that really need it. I'm kind of going to go a little bit, well, it's on the same topic. Thank you, Chris. When I head that way, can you turn that one also? So that we catch the exercises when we get there. There's a reason for this particular topic at this time of the year. And what we saw on the schedule today, there's a reason for it, especially after yesterday. It was windy, but it was warm. And it's the day when everybody says, oh, nice weather, let's build a full retaining wall. Yeah, okay, you've done nothing but sit on the couch all winter long, and now, yeah, that's exactly what happens. And so we got the people walking around like this, barely able to move, and don't sneeze or they're hitting the floor. We saw quite a few of those today. Some of them we recommended, come to this class. That's how important it is. One of them already texted and said, I'd love to, I just can't sit that long, this hurts so much. So yeah, that's the indication. You are the crew that always are ahead of the game, and that's what you need to be. Not that you don't have low back pain. Me standing up here as your doctor, I know whether you do or not, but you have to brush your teeth now. You've heard me say this. Don't wait until something hurts to do the exercises. When you feel good is the time to be doing those exercises, the time to take care of yourself, the time to build up that resilience. Yeah, once you're hurting, it's no fun to do exercises when you're hurting. Yeah, so we're gonna go over today very specific stretches and exercises just for that low back. I can in general tell you that every single one of my talks is going to carry through some of the same themes. This is one whole unit. I can't separate your low back from all the rest of you, right? So you have a bad ankle, you're maybe limping a little, your low back's going to hurt, right? You're starting to put those connections together now if you come to multiple classes. That means that we have to work you as a whole body. And I'm going to take that a step further. That also means that stretches and exercises are only one piece of taking care of yourself, or one leg of the three-legged stool. The chiropractic adjustments, and I know it's like growling at me, and breaking bad habits or starting new ones are really critical to that. The breaking bad habits ones are the ones that we expect you to do outside of the clinic. We guide, we give you resources, we educate you. But we only have you really here for education, thank you, education pieces and your adjustment pieces. Those are critical to this, but you need to do a lot of work outside of here. So that's why we started the education series. That's why we're constantly teaching you. You should continue to come to as many classes as you can, and you'll start to see some of those themes coming through. That'll start to gel to give you a vitalistic philosophy of health. Vitalistic is healing from above down, inside out. Your own body heals everything. And that above down is a higher power than us, right? We do not exist in a vacuum here. You need all of that. That inside out, what the chiropractic piece does to that is we take the interference away and your body heals. Thank you always for when you guys say, thanks, you made me feel so better. Wonderful. All I did was take the interference away. The rest was you. That was all you. And the rest that needs to be used, all three legs of the stool. So make sure you're getting those chiropractic adjustments in rhythm. Make sure you're doing your stretches and exercises, and make sure you're breaking those bad habits. And when I say breaking bad habits, sometimes it is starting good ones, but we usually include the nutrition piece within there, which is vital. Low back is a lot about inflammation. Some things that you put inside your body are not food and can be very inflammatory. We want to eliminate those as much as possible. And I didn't mean necessarily to go on to nutrition in this one, but the things that are inflammatory are the things that aren't food. Hello? If it's not food, it's not food. We say that again and again, and people are like, well, pizza's food. It could be if you made your own pizza, but the stuff that's a frozen thing in the, it's not. It's processed. And it might have a list of ingredients. Those ingredients might be wholesome. They might even be organic, but once it's processed, it's processed. And it's meant to keep some shelf life. It's meant to not break down and digest. That causes inflammation in your body. So not too much more about that. I might slide back into nutrition. As always with any of these, please ask questions. Anytime you have questions, even if it seems off topic, ask, because I am here to educate you. I serve you best when I'm answering what you're wondering about. So what we're going to do tonight is cover 6 spots. And we kind of already started. Symptoms are signals. Symptoms are not a disease. High blood pressure is not a disease. It's a symptom. It's a signal. We call them body signals. It's your body talking to you. Don't ignore it. Don't band-aid it. Don't dampen it. Listen to it. Figure out why it's telling you that. Then this is an important one. This is the piece that people don't usually get, is why fear of re-injury really slows the recovery. I get it. You want to guard, but we're going to go over that and how you get by that. We're going to do the stretches and exercises for the low back. I did talk about the nervous system and spinal mechanics, but we'll go into that just a little bit more. Your nervous system is your master system for this whole body. I can give you the most perfect exercises ever, but if that nerve is pinched, if that nerve is inflamed, and you don't get your chiropractic adjustment to get that pressure off of there, the exercises aren't going to do you any good. Movement patterns, the ones that are bad for you and the ones that are good for you, and then how chiropractic builds all of that resilience. Resilience is important, resilience and adaptability, because I want you to have some caution, but I don't want you to live a life of not doing things. I want to build it up so your body can handle doing things. So symptoms are signals, not the problem. Muting the signal, here's things that you often do. Pain relievers. People believe pain is bad. Pain relievers, I don't know, there are some natural pain relievers out there, but even then, taking those natural ones that don't have side effects, you often do things you're not supposed to because you don't feel the pain. The pain is there to tell you something. It's there, listen to it. Ice and heat as your only response, and a lot of times people use that incorrectly. They'll put heat on pain, and I want to remind you, when you put heat on an area that already has inflammation, yes, it blows it up. It relaxes the muscles, feels great, but all that fluid that it draws in there, all that new blood, all that inflammation, about 2 hours after that, now it really hurts, and you don't make the connection that it was the heat. Anything that's acute, which means happened recently, you always use ice. Anything that's arthritic, old, you can use heat, but I would like to say use heat with like a vitamin E oil or a castor oil and moist heat. That's the best way to utilize heat. Anytime you have questions on this, know that you have a team here. So you might think of it a different day and you're at the front desk and say, Chris, Dr. Jen was talking about heat. What was that thing with oil? She'll be like, I got a sheet for you. I'll hand that off to you and give you those instructions. So you're welcome to ask any of us. The one I hear, there's a couple I hear really often. One is, it's just the way it is. It is what it is. We further that, you know about mantras at this clinic. It is what it is, but it becomes what you make of it. So don't leave it at that. And then the other thing patients say when they come in is, I thought it would go away on its own. Yeah, you all cringe. And it may be that your body's got tired of yelling at you and giving you pain signals. That doesn't mean it got fixed or it went away. Okay? You got used to it. That's exactly it. And then avoiding that movement entirely. So I'm just going to sleep in the recliner for a few days and then it'll be better. That never works. And treating the symptoms, not the cause. Not looking at your whole body to understand what's going on. What I want you to do instead is ask why this is happening. We ask you when you come in, what were you doing? Okay? And then we look at your body, we look at you biomechanically, but we also look at the weaknesses, the micro traumas or even macro traumas or accidents, illnesses, injuries you've had in the past, and how all of that built up so that that's why when you reached over to pick that stick up, your back went out. And it shouldn't have, right? You should have been able to do that, but we have to hunt down all of that. So we can identify the root pattern or cause. So sometimes I referenced, an ankle. Maybe you have an ankle problem and you're limping a little bit. That throws all of your biomechanics off. I'm very, very shortly, very simply going to explain. Most of you know your vertebra, your bones in your spine, and you have discs in between. We teach in our spinal hygiene class, I hope you all have been to at least once, if not multiple times, to the spinal hygiene class, but we teach about spinal molding, which means those discs start to form in a certain manner when they've been that way for a long time. So that ankle hurts and you're just leaning away from that ankle. Those discs in that spine then remold. We need to undo that pattern and move and shift your body so that you're working in a full range of motion. So that we can restore that proper spinal function, rebuild that movement with confidence, which is us educating you, move within this range of motion, not past this range of motion, but you do have to move. Nothing heals without movement. When things stop moving, they die, including tissues in your body. You need to move. And then we support long-term adaptability, which is a nice way of saying, I don't want this to happen to you again. Okay, let's make sure that it doesn't. Let's build up some resilience in there. Your spine is your nervous system highway. I started the seminar with this. Super important. People don't always understand. They really think pain is from one area, and that's very rarely the case. Pain comes as a signal from your body telling you something is wrong at the root or at the core or at the source. The way your nervous system works is that doesn't always mean that where you're feeling the pain is where it's coming from. A good example, most people know sciatic pain. That doesn't mean the nerve is being pinched all the way down your leg. It's being pinched in either that glute or that low back, that butt, and you feel that pain all the way down the leg. Does that make sense? Yeah, so we need to get to the root cause of that and start treating it from where it's starting. Subluxation, I want to continue to educate everyone on what a subluxation is. I just posted on this. Chris, did you see that one? I just posted what subluxation, the definition of subluxation is. Most people don't understand. That's that weird chiropractic word that we can't really pronounce or say. It really means a lack of light or a lack of life. That means what we're calling, you guys usually say, a pinched nerve, right? But it's much more than that. It's a whole motor unit. It's a whole piece of you of something not functioning correctly. So I can say out of place, and most of the times you guys understand out of place, but a motor unit means it's supposed to have a full range of motion in there. Not that it's just out of place, we slide it back into place. It's not just a bone. You guys hear and love that motion and that noise and that feeling when we put things back into place. But if the soft tissues around it aren't holding it in place, if the discs aren't molded to where they need to be, it's not going to stay there. Does that make sense? So anatomy. Pain is the last signal. I love to use dental analogies. So by the time you feel a cavity, that's eaten away at that tooth down to the root. That really is what's happening when you feel low back pain. That means many things have happened to get the pressure on that nerve root. It's the end signal, not the first. And so the importance of that statement is that we don't ask you to come in when you're in pain. Please do. We ask you to come in so that you don't get in pain, so that you don't get there. We're keeping you at that maintenance or that wellness level so that you're feeling good all the time, not waiting until we're putting out fires. That's not any fun for us or you. The fear avoidance cycle. You probably have all been in this one. Most of the time I see it when it's like knee pain. A lot of knee pain will cause low back pain. Okay, so you're limping or you're walking a little bit differently. Something hurts, you're sitting incorrectly. So you start with that pain, came from something else probably prior. You start with that pain, and so you're worried, what if this happens again? I'm just going to move very cautiously, very slowly. I'm not going to sneeze. I'm not going to overdo things, right? And you're guarding. So you're avoiding lifting and moving in that full range of motion. That full range of motion is the only way that that fluid gets in there to refresh and rejuvenate and keep alive that disc in that area. Then you get deconditioned because you're not moving. Now those muscles start to weaken because you're not using them, right? Now you can see this pattern of how this is going to happen again. So then those smaller little things that you're doing, your body fully goes into overload on. Does that pain cycle start to make sense? This is my reinforcements for get into the chiropractor when you're feeling good to stay feeling good. It's easier to stay well than it is to get well. Much easier. Now is the time of year we have this seminar intentionally because people get out on that one nice day, and it's going to get icky again probably tonight. And then we'll have another nice day and you try to get all of your outside stuff, clean the entire garage, wash the entire vehicle, do all of your windows, all in one day. Please don't. Please don't. I used to say it's great for business, but it pains me when you come in like that. Yeah. The other one is, thanks for making my truck payment. But I prefer, it's just a little lightness to get you to listen, to break that sense of humor so you understand I love seeing you when you're feeling good. I really do. I love keeping you feeling good. Some of the risky patterns, some of the things this time of year that cause this is bending forward from the waist to pull weeds. And I'm double jointed, that total German double joint. Yeah, if I would bend over like this, there's so much strain on my back, bend those knees a little bit and bend from the hips. But when you're bending from the hips, keep that back straight. Not this. You have to engage that core. You have to engage all those muscles. Sorry. It's Christmas up here. So it was distracting me. So bend forward from the waist to lift anything or to pull anything. What I see a lot of times for that pull weed injury is your pull, the weed lets go. Yeah, you know that feeling. I saw your faces. That's why we need to build this resilience so that if that does happen, your body can handle it. Twisting while carrying something heavy. Okay? Yes, I see your faces. Anytime you have to lift something, you need to move your body so you're face on. Okay, bring it up, then move to set it down. Okay, I should probably put a graphic in here. Your discs actually have what's called cross fibers in them. Those cross fibers, they look like this. You twist one way, one set of fibers completely loosens up, and the other side gets strained. So you have a double whammy if you have a twist and a tilt on that disc. Okay? Yeah, it's painful for me to even think about it or visualize it. So face on with whatever you have to do. Don't lift some things that are past your weight limit. Be careful. Ask for help. Doing too much too fast after winter activity. Pace yourself. Don't have to keep up with the neighbors. It doesn't have to be all done at once. It's okay if only a few of the windows got done. Pace yourself. Otherwise, you won't be able to do any of it for a month while we're trying to get you back on track. Reaching overhead repeatedly without breaks. Yeah, that one is usually the taking down Christmas lights. We get that one. Or the, it's called a pole saw. Do you guys know what a pole saw is? And think about what that does to these muscles, yes, that haven't been used like that before. So same thing, up on a ladder, cleaning windows or reaching, cleaning gutters, pruning trees. Exactly. Just say, okay, I've got an hour, 10, 20 minutes of it will be setting up, 20 minutes of it will be doing that activity, 20 minutes of it will be cleaning up, another activity of cleaning everything up, and then I'll do another hour or two tomorrow. Work into it and you can build that up. Staying in one position for any long period of time, doing anything. We say again and again, sitting is the new smoking. Sitting is a bad position too, but staying bent over or on all fours or in any one position for too long, that's immobilizing things. You need motion. Take breaks, set a timer. And then lifting with a rounded back. I kind of went at the beginning with that. Flatten that back. That means that your core is engaged. What do we want to do instead? Better body mechanics. So kneel, use a stool. There's lots of actually cool stools out there. There's little garden benches that you can get like on little wheels that you can get now that are kind of fun. Pivot with your feet. I already went over this. So if you have to lift something, go so that you're facing it. You're not at an angle, you're not twisted, and you're not tipped when you do that. That sets you up for injury. Start slow. So ease into that activity. Set that timer. 20 to 30 minutes is your max. I know that drives some of you crazy. Let it drive you crazy because then you'll be able to do more. Keep the loads close to your body when you're carrying them. Okay? And understand what your own weight limit is and engage your core before every time you lift anything or do anything. That core locks everything in. And if you do that and you're not able to lift, that is your body saying it's too heavy. Do you have a question?
I have a question. So when you take your break every 20 to 30 minutes, is there something we can do to make my body feel happy again?
Ice. But yes, there's lots of things. Doing the stretches we're going to show you is a great way to do it. So you get more motion in there. But sometimes just take a rest and put some ice on is actually a really good idea too. Yes, not heat. All right, 6 of them. We're going to do, are you willing to be my person? Miss with low back pain. We're going to have Chris do these. I will guide her through. I'm just going to switch this over here so that you guys will get this on the recording.
How long should the breaks be?
So I'm going to give you the minimum. Minimum is 7. Has to be 7 minutes for therapeutic. My suggestion is that's an odd number. Just because studies have been done on it, take 10. That's an easy thing to remember. Just take 10. All right, lie on your back, pull one knee toward your chest, hold 20 to 30 seconds each side. She's not going to hold it for the entire time, but we're going to show you and actually do this knee. If you can do this on the edge of the bed, you can level up with this by putting this, you don't have to do it, by putting one leg off. Well, actually, can you? So you can show them? Yeah, you're going to get more of a, yes, you'll feel it. Yeah, her little legs. You'll get even more of a stretch by having the opposite leg down lower. Okay? Just do both sides. As long as that feels good, just breathe through that. I like to say when you are doing any stretch, instead of saying, how long should I hold this? I go by how many breaths, because then I know you're breathing through it. So 3 deep breaths each side. Whether that happens to be 5 seconds or 15 seconds, doesn't make a difference. You can switch. Hip flexor stretch. This one is hip flexor stretch. You can, no, you can stay there because I'm going to have, the next one will be this. I'll do the hip flexor stretch. This one takes a little bit of balance too. It's like a runner's lunge. So one leg forward, one leg back. You have to turn your hips so that they're facing the right direction and you're pressing your hips forward and in. My suggestion is then at the same time, whichever leg is back, that arm goes up. Because it is very difficult to hit, hi hun. Yes, give me just a sec, I'm gonna explain. It's very difficult to hit this muscle, part of the front core. It's easy to stretch all of these back muscles. It's really hard to stretch the deep core muscles. Do like you are on railroad tracks. Otherwise, if your feet are like in line, it takes a lot more balance. So railroad tracks to think about it, and then shift so your hips are facing the same direction. If you can kind of think about my hip pointers, I don't want to be here. I'm going to miss the stretch completely. So hips face the front. If you want to get a little bit more specific, the toes should be a little bit out in the back, and you're just going to press your hips forward. Whichever leg is back, that arm goes up and over to the side, and it feels fantastic. Okay, you really get the inside of that front hip. You're doing both sides. Now both supine twist, both knees up toward, so just bend your knees, feet up on the table. Doesn't matter which way you go. From here, you just drop knees down to one side. Doesn't matter which. And I'm gonna give her an added. So once she's in this position, this works great on a bed. Then if you straighten out the top leg and straighten out this arm because it's like a counterbalance, this will really be a good stretch. Yeah, I know. Chris is like, keep.
Don't let me fall.
I know. Yeah. We don't need new injuries. Cat cow stretch. Yeah, I got to balance you. Yeah, good call, Chris. Flip so you're on all fours. Perfect. From here, she's going to sag that belly. Yes. And drop it down again, 3 breaths. Then she's going to curl that back just like cat. Okay? Cat, cow. Same thing. You want to make sure you're breathing through those. Then from there, she's going to sit butt back onto heels and stretch forward with her arms, also called child's pose. So if you guys are familiar with any yoga, this is great for the low back. It also stretches the shoulders. Okay? Keeps them a little bit guarded, but feels fantastic. Those 3 deep breaths. She's going to flip over onto her back again. Bent knees, feet up on the table. This is called a bridge, or some people call it, yep. Okay. You got it. She's going to, step by step, she's going to tighten her core. Thanks, Frey. She's stretch. She's stretching also. That's called downward dog. She's going to tighten her core, slowly lift that butt up into the air. Hold at the top. You have to keep breathing. I'm going to let her go. You can see that little bit of a wobble in there. That tells me that there's some weak muscles there. She's going to slowly go back down. And then this is all stretches. That actually does stretch through the front. The next panel that I'll go change to is the exercises, but I'm going to have her in this position because she's going to do this exact same stretch, but it's now going to be an exercise.
Chris, do that again. I gotta get the picture.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. So now we're up to strengthening that low back, and I am on the glute bridge. I'm actually on the bottom one. You can do one of 2 things. What's called loading. So you can put some weights on your belly, even just hand weights, and just hold them there. Can you mimic like you have weights? Yes. And then you can do the bridge. So now it's loaded. Relax on down. The other way you can do it is this foot 1 inch up in the air, hold that there. She doesn't want to get her knees closer and she doesn't want to lift this knee any further up. You can drop if you get a cramp.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. It's a lot harder than you think. And slowly down. Yep. And she's going to do the other side. Yeah, you see her adjusting. She's trying to compensate because this one is really weak. What we just showed you is level 1 and 2. There are 5 levels to this. Yeah. Yeah. It gets more difficult. You start putting some unstable items underneath the feet so that you're really trying to, yeah. But that is a fantastic one for working all of the legs and all of the core. The next one is dead bug. This is almost a brain activity as much as it is a physical activity. So feet come up, so these are at 90. Arms straight up in the air. I'm going to help her out so her brain doesn't have to work. Opposite arm and leg straighten. Yes. Bring them back. Opposite. Yeah, you see her brain. Yeah, you know what. And come back. But what that is doing is cross, which is super important. Yep. And you got to remember to breathe. Yes, it's making your brain work too. It really is. Yep. And back. Then there's 2 more. I'm going to have you flip back onto all 4s. The next one's called bird dog. It's the opposite of what she was just doing on her back. Yes, you got it.
Is it
Oh,
switch?
yep, sorry.
It is.
It is.
Oh.
And I like to say point that thumb up because it'll get you a little bit more concentration. Keep this at 90 because it protects your knee. They're small things. If any of these, can you switch and keep going? If any of these hurt, there's probably, I can see your low back still out. There's probably something going on. Always ask us and say, Dr. Jen, remember that exercise? This hurts. Can you modify it? I can modify it, or I can say, hey, there's a little tweak for you to do it a little bit more correct, if that makes any sense. The last one is called a wall sit. I can show you guys a wall sit. It is, I like to say, if you do one of your feet away from the wall, sit on back, and you want to get to 90. You don't have to make this work. This is still a good workout. So if you can't stay in this position for 20 seconds, then you're probably too low. But we want you to be able to be here for 2 or 3 minutes. So it should be 90, 90, 90. Yep. And that sit. You're strengthening all of this. One I don't have up there, but is a really good one, is squats. If you can do 10 squats every 45 minutes during a day, you would need no other workouts.
Oh, really?
Yep. 10 squats every 45 minutes, your whole workout plan.
But how do we do the correct squat?
I'm going to do it up here so that you can see, but Diane, I'll come over there and do it again. Okay. But just so I have it here. Okay. You want to make sure that toes are out a little bit, heels are a little wider than the hips. And maybe I'll do it forward and then I'll do it to the side and then I'll head over there. And from here, it's the same thing, just like when I told you to bend over. You need to keep your low back straight, but it is as easy as, I'm going to sit in a chair, right? I'm trying to find that chair. That's one. It's that easy. So heels need to be a little bit wider than the hip, toes out a little bit, keep that low back straight, and then butt out. I'm just going to sit in that chair. One thing you want to make sure that you're doing is don't go back on your heels. Make sure it's a little bit more extensive. Been doing more research on fascia. Fascia is on everything, between everything, all over your body. It is more important in sending information to your brain even than your nervous system sending you signals to your brain, even than your gut sending you signals to your brain. Fascia reads everything. You have a fascial point from right at the top of your head, if you know what the Alexander technique is, and coming out your big toe. So if you're going to do, I'm going to have you do one over there, Chris. If you're going to do a squat, start and then make sure your big toe is actually keeping pressure down. If not, that's telling me that the fascia in your body is so tight, you can't. Beautiful squat, Chris. Very nice. Press through those toes. You're so photogenic. And Chris is adding all of these to her routine. Uh-huh.
In her spare time.
Yeah, it's exactly it. That was the sarcasm.
But you only have to do that one instead of all of these. Okay.
But 10 times every hour.
Pardon? Every 45.
Every 45 minutes, yes. It really, I say,
Spots every 45 minutes.
it is every hour, but you have to actually do the squat. And so I'm just assuming the 15 minutes is that time slot for, yeah, you got it.
Yep. 10 squats every 45 minutes.
You got it, yeah.
Okay.
Or just say 10 squats on the hour.
There you go.
Right, by the time you're done, it'll be 45 minutes later, it'll be on the hour again. So yes, yes. And breathe. With any of the stretches, with any of the exercises, people forget to breathe. The breathing is also what stretches the fascia in there. So how chiropractic care supports your movement. You know what we're doing, you know what we're talking about. Those adjustments, I am forcing something to make sure that I'm opening that up. I'm releasing it. I'm loosening that. I'm putting it back where it belongs. Once we do that, I need you to be doing all the things outside of the office to make sure that it starts to remold, starts to repair, starts to heal, starts to strengthen in there. That rebuild so that regular adjustments are just like regular exercises. We're teaching your body. There's neuroplasticity, there's muscle memory. Everything's happening to move you the right direction. How do we know how often you need to get adjusted? This is so simple and so enlightening at the same time. As long as your body holds the adjustment, your body tells us how often you need to get adjusted. Okay, if you come in and your body isn't holding those adjustments, we went too long. Okay, and we usually, once we get to that stage, just move it out, move it out, move it out. As you age, I can tell you that creeps back in and gets, yes. What? Age? That consistency to that care, that consistency to those exercises and stretches and your motion and your cautions and your understanding where all of that comes from, that's what builds up your resilience. So that, you know what, you should be able to do those things. You should be able to pick those sticks up. I don't want you to not do those things for the rest of your life. I don't want you to overdo them, but we have to build it up to get to that point. Does that make sense? I don't ever tell you guys anything you don't already know. I'm just putting it together, making it easy. Next step, if you know somebody, because most of you do, you have a neighbor, you have a friend, you have somebody that has low back pain. I'm going to be a little bit critical right now. Do you see any males in this room? I roll. Number one low back complaint, gender.
Male.
Right?
Where's the women's back pain?
Yeah. You women carry it up here.
Yes.
Yeah, we do, because we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Guys muscle through everything. Also, the largest population who don't call for their own appointments. You guys, I'm telling you something you do already know. If you get them in the door, we break through the stubborn. They get it. They do get it. We just have to get them in the door. So if you guys do know somebody that is suffering from low back pain, or you don't want them to have to suffer from low back pain, you know they're going to go put some docs in. You know they're going to completely build that shed this summer. You know whatever it is that they're going to do, get them in, get them this education, get them adjusted. If you like, Chris is going to hand out, ask. She will give you however many you need. Chris is going to hand out for their first visit special. So if you know anybody, it's only good. You guys get to give it to them so that you get the referral gift. It's only good for the next couple of weeks if they want to get in for that first visit. But you are welcome to refer them in because one of our missions, reach, teach, and treat everyone. We don't have everyone. Does everyone need chiropractic? Absolutely. Absolutely. You need this education. You need health, especially in this medical culture of misinformation. I don't want to use that word, but the medical culture of take a pill, potion, lotion, seek outside of your own body for health when actually this is what heals you. We take away the interference. We give your body all the nutrients it needs, Everything that it needs to heal in your body naturally does that from what's called above down, inside out. So thank you guys. Always love talking. Always love having you in here. I hope you got a ton of information. Any questions before I kick you guys all out of here before the storm hits? I hope not. I should. Thank you. I know they usually do overhype things, so I'm hoping not. Yeah, I'm hoping not. Nobody needs hail. Unless, let me shut this off before I say it out loud. Unless you need a new roof.